Well, it's Friday. We made it. What's happening, everybody? As always, coffee cheers to you. It's your pal Malan, 6:44 in the morning on Friday, February 17th. What a week, man. It's over. We did it. Another week down the drain. It's amazing how time flies, man. Weeks just go by. Months. Weeks turn into months. Months turn into weeks. Years turn into months. Decades go by like years. And the older you get, the faster it goes. My grandpa told me that when I was a little kid. And I didn't believe him at the time, of course, because when you're a kid, you don't believe anyone 15 to 20 years older than you don't trust, right? So when I'm 10, here's this man who's probably 50 telling me, enjoy your time now. Enjoy these long summers. We used to spend the summers with them. Enjoy these times because the older you get, the faster time goes. And it'll fly by. And I said, okay, Grandpa, whatever, man. And then, now I'm over 40 myself. I'm approaching the age he probably was back then, and I feel it. And this is way off topic, but it just popped in my head. That's something that I've figured out. If you're younger than me, listen up. Really, listen up. I've tried to explain this to people. When I was a teenager, adults would tell me things. My mom would tell me things. My dad would tell me things. They would attempt to give me guidance. I didn't listen to them at all. I didn't trust them. I didn't believe them. And I couldn't comprehend that they were ever any other age than they were at that time. So to me, my mom and dad were just born parents. And the entire universe waited for me to be born, and then they went into action. My grandparents were always older. My great-grandparents were always old people. What I failed to comprehend, most young people fail to comprehend this. And when I say young, I mean teens and younger. Even into your 20s this happens, but you see an old person and you just think that like they're a separate entity. They're a different kind of person than you because you're young right now. You're 15 years old. You look young, and then you see this person who's 90 and they look old. And it feels like almost like they're a different animal. But they were once just like you. And they were once, at one time, they didn't trust the adults either. They were you. They were 12 or 22. And they went through all of the same experiences or similar experiences that you're going to go through or that you're going through now. I can remember people telling me when I was, starting to drink at about 14, they said, look, here's what's going to happen. Use your dad as an example. But I didn't even believe that. And I had seen the example. I said, no, he's just always been an old man. You guys don't understand me. I'm different. I'm special. My life is unique. And, our lives are unique. But 90% of them are exactly the same experiences. Just some of the details are changed. And then 10% is, that's your world where you do your own thing. But most of us, regardless of the industry or the passion or the talent or the business we go into or the failures that we experience, they're all wrapped in the same story. Life just repeats itself and repeats itself and repeats itself. And the funny thing is, now I'm telling you this, and if you're 18 years old or 20 years old, you might go, no, I'm doing my own thing, like I'm unique, but you're not. I'm telling you. I used to tell my brother, my younger brother, Zach, who was 10 years younger than me, I would tell him, he asked me for advice on a lot of stuff. And I told him, I said, the only way I'll give you advice is you have to just listen to me and follow what I say blindly. Like, don't ask me any questions. Just do what I say to do. Because I told him, I said, look, I'm you. I come from the same family. I had the same parents. I went through all the same stuff as you. But the only difference is I'm 10 years ahead of you. So everything you're going through now, I have answers. I have some answers. If you'll listen to me, I'll give them to you. I'll tell you what's going to happen. And 99% of the people that you tell that to, they will not blindly listen to you. I don't mean blindly like I'm not going to tell him to give me all his money, send me his credit card information. I mean, he's going to ask me, hey man, I feel like I'm stuck in a trap. I'm not making any money. I hate my job or whatever. I just feel like it's never going to get better. I kind of want to jump off a building. You know what I mean? And I can say, I know, when I was 21, I felt the exact same way. But here's the thing. Over the next 10 years, you're going to figure some things out. And the situation you're in right now at 21, you're going to look back and see that it was kind of silly and maybe even fun or funny. So right now it feels like a disaster and you want to jump off a building or whatever. Just wait. I'm 10 years ahead of you. I've been there. Now I'm not there. I can look back at it and see what it really was, and I can give you that info. And he started listening to me blindly. Just, okay, whatever I said, he would do it. He'd say, what do I eat? And I told him exactly what to eat. He went out and bought all the food I told him to buy, and he would eat it. He wanted to learn affiliate marketing. He said, what do I do? I said, this. No questions. No, why do you do this? What's the theory or the psychology behind why you would use an image of a camera versus an image of a donkey? And he never asked me those questions, and he learned. His pace of learning was so fast. I've never seen anything like it. He's actually the only person who was blindly just in my personal life that's just listened to me and done what I said. And within a few weeks, he was doing well. Most people ask a lot of questions. They're skeptical. They're scared, and they fail. But he listened blindly. Thank God. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. He died 3 or 4 years ago after serving several years in the Army and having some hard times with that. But the example is what I'm trying to say. I look at elderly people differently now. When I see an old person on the street, instead of thinking, oh God, this old person's gross or they're walking slow, now I look at them different. I'm like, okay, I understand that they're going up the stairs slowly because as you get older, your knees start to hurt. There's no stopping it. And if you're 12 years old, you'll laugh and go, my knees will never hurt. They will. At some point, you will be that person walking slowly up the stairs. And a young kid behind you, will be looking at you the same way. Going, this old fool. They have no idea who you are, what you've been through, the things you did when you were a kid, the millions of dollars you may have made and lost and made again and lost, the love affairs you had, the crimes you committed. They have no clue. I'm totally suspicious of old people now, elderly people. Like if I see someone who's 85, I look at them, I go, there's no telling what this person has seen and done. There's no telling because you have to see life for what it is. We all start in the same place, right? Newborn. Then we all go through this discovery phase when you're a child, then this rebellious phase when you're a teenager, and then into your 20s, you're trying to make it in the world. You're lost and confused and everything's falling apart and it seems like it's never going to work. Then in your 30s, you kind of start to figure some things out. Maybe you find a job you like or something works for you. You find a little bit of success here and there. And then I don't know what happens in the 40s. I'm there now. So I'm just now going through that. But and I can't wait to see what happens in 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. And the way that the technology is coming now, we may live to be 150. Who knows? My God, I just went on a tangent. I didn't plan on talking about this at all. Sometimes you turn the camera on and the universe just kind of flows through your brain and starts talking. I hope that helps someone. But it is something that goes through my head a lot, especially after you turn 40, because I remember being about 18, and I always thought, if I lived to 40, really didn't think I would. I gave myself, when I was 18, I figured I'd die when I was 21. Then I made it to 21. I was like, well, 25 is going to be it. Made it to 25. Okay, 27. Made it to 27. I was like, okay, I'll definitely die before 30. And then I just kept living. Now I feel like I'm going to live to be 200. But when I was 18, I actually thought that if I lived to be 40, which was my parents' age at the time, right? I thought that when I arrived at this age, I would be some sort of a different person. I would be a different entity, like a totally different animal. All of my problems would have disappeared. All of my life would be well put together. All of my fears and insecurities would be gone, and I would be this adult with all the answers. And then I remember I turned 40 and I was like, wait a minute. I'm still just me. I'm the same kid in the same body at 40 as I was when I was 18. Nothing really changed other than time has gone by, the world's changed, things change, but inside, absolutely nothing has changed. All those same issues that I dealt with at 18, they're still there. I handle them better now. Instead of, drinking and doing drugs and sleeping in the street and screaming and crying and fighting and being angry, I've learned to live with it. That's changed. But inside, it's all the same. So now when I see a person who's 85 years old, I understand that they're the same way. Inside of that person that's 95 and fumbling around, trying to get around with a walker, inside, there's like a 16-year-old girl with the same thoughts, all those memories and experiences. And they're just, their machine has stopped working so well. The human body machine has stopped working just from wear and tear. And now they struggle, they're hunched, they move slow. The food falls out, their teeth came out when they're eating, You have difficulty, they can't walk upstairs anymore, and these things happen. But now I get it. So when I see an old person, especially someone who dresses cool, if you're over 80 and wearing like Ray-Bans and cool jeans, and I look at him, I'm like, man, this guy may have invented cars or something. Like, I wonder what this person has gone through. And I'm now, instead of being scared of them or repulsed by them, because let's be honest, when you're a kid, when you're 9 years old and someone who's 70 years old picks you up or wants to touch you or give you a hug or a kiss, like great grandma, maybe they have a little hair on their lip, you freak out. They're like a disgusting dragon. But now I get it. Now I'm like, okay, there are no adults. I heard Joe Rogan say this one time. And when he said it, I was like, that's the exact thing I think about all the time. But there are no adults. You do not become an adult. There's no such thing as becoming an adult. We're all just babies that have grown up, and now we have boobs, facial hair, mustaches. That's it. It's just a world full of babies. No one has the answer. No one's really sure why we're here. And we're just kind of running around aimlessly, trying not to think about it. This morning I woke up and the sky in Los Angeles is gray, blue, 60 different colors of blue right now. The clouds are everywhere. I'm actually videotaping while I'm recording this. I'm doing a video of the clouds, and at the end of this video I'm going to play it. And here's the reason. We are in a interesting place right now where everyone's, well, not even just now. For the last several decades, we've all just been wrapped up in entertainment, news, politics, drama, TV shows, celebrity gossip, relationships, our 9-to-5 jobs, earning a living. Everyone is all this is it's a distraction. And this is why I never get bored. I never get bored because in the back of my mind, I understand that we're living this life. No one thinks about it. We're living this life on this gigantic circle made of lava and fire, dirt, gases, chemicals, and all of these elements somehow work together in a way that allows us to live life, to breathe, and for food to grow, and for plants to grow. It all works perfectly to sustain life on Earth. I mean, think of the sun. No one thinks of the sun. The sun is this burning, this gigantic, I don't know if the sun's a star or a planet, but whatever it is, it's on fire in the sky. We can see it. The fire is so hot that it warms the planet. When our Earth spins away from the sun, it gets cold. And when it comes back to the sun, it gets hot. Without the sun, if the sun went out, we would all die instantly. We'd freeze to death. Then you have this moon you see at night. And I heard someone say the other day that they're saying that moon is made of water and it's covered by a layer of ice. I may be completely wrong about this. But the point is, we stay focused on the drama and the problems going on in our immediate world, whether it's, is my girlfriend cheating on me, or, I'm not making enough money, or Donald Trump is working with the Russians, or I wonder what's going on with the Kardashians, or, oh, Kanye West has said this crazy thing. Everyone's so wrapped up in that, and no one's paying attention to the fact that we're flying through space on a circle of lava, fire, dirt, and chemicals and gases. And we're flying through a galaxy that's inside of a universe that is limitless. It goes on forever, and no one has any idea why we're here or what it all means. You should never be bored. I'm never bored, because if I have nothing to do, I just look at the sky and I think, this is incredible, man. And then a rainstorm comes, and that's crazy. And the stars at night. It's unbelievable. It's the best TV show in the world. That's why I love living in this apartment with all these big windows. It's a full entertainment display 24 hours a day. Sun, moon, rain, clouds, lightning bolts, lightning and thunder. If you're not amazed by lightning and thunder, you really need to get it together, because it's amazing. And life is amazing. It's the strangest thing I've ever done, is living this life. I can't wait to see what happens next. And although I would call myself a spiritual person, but it's not as simple as, in my opinion, it's not as simple as God made the whole thing in 7 days. It's not that simple. That's a really good way to help people feel comfortable about the fact that we don't know what's going on. No one knows why we're here. Or if anyone does know anything, they're not telling us. Like maybe someone deep within the deep government, maybe they have a clue. Maybe they've been contacted by aliens or something. I don't know. But if they do know, they're not telling us. Maybe in 20 years we'll find out. That seems to be the way that it works. Every 20 years you find out that everything we thought 2 decades ago was wrong. Maybe in 20 years from now they'll tell us, yeah, we actually were contacted by Zanzibar, the god of fire, and we just didn't tell you guys. Anyway, in other words, I don't even know how to sum up what I just said. In other words, enjoy life. Look at the sky. If you're bored, go outside. Lay in the grass. Watch the clouds. You should never be bored. Have a little fun. Because at the end of the day, there are no rules. There's no laws. There's not even countries or cities or states or anything. We made it all up. So have some fun with it. Break the rules. Bend the rules. Don't be just another person watching TV, reading about the Kardashians. And I'm as guilty as anyone else. Like I said, a lot of these videos are a message to myself. But don't be the person that gets stuck watching the news, living in fear, panicking about relationships. These things are all so petty. They're all so petty compared to the gigantic wonder that's happening all around us. Speaking of the gigantic wonder, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. This wasn't what I planned on talking about at all. I was going to do a wrap-up of the week, but this is just what happened, guys. Sometimes what happens, happens. So I'm going to end the video with the video of the clouds that I've been shooting while I've been recording this. And you can watch it if you want. It'll be on speed play because I want to show you how amazing the clouds move when it's sped up. It's a miracle. It's insane. And we're not paying attention. And maybe that can help all of us to remember, no matter what's happening, let's say your girlfriend broke up with you or your boyfriend and you're going to kill yourself. Maybe this will help someone. Or you're not happy with your job and you're drinking yourself to death. I can say that from experience. If you're in a position like that, always remember, put a reminder on your phone that goes off once every 3 days that says, we live in a beautiful universe that no one understands. And just remember, like, all this stuff's petty. The relationships come and go. People are imperfect. And look up and enjoy the view. That's all I have, man. I hope you have a great weekend. Stay out of trouble. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I love you guys, and I will see you in the future.